My name is Fidel. I'm born and raised not too far from here on the east side of Milwaukee. I do a lot of things for a lot of people. And I don't know, I consider what I do service. I consider myself a servant, a helper.
Serving, okay.
You know, I'm a servant, I'm a helper in everything that I do. And I just happen to be blessed to have some really smart parents that instill some really incredible things into my life early that help navigate my choices as it relates to service, as it relates to serving humanity, serving your community, you know, serving my family, you know. So that's it. I don't like to hype it up. I'm just your brother. That's all. I'm just your brother. I'm just your brother.
I mean, but I feel that like you're very humble.
Or I'm your uncle. Either one. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, very humble. But yeah, you're doing a lot of great things around the city of Milwaukee, and you're definitely, definitely going down in history of like Milwaukee. But the question is like, why Milwaukee? Has there ever been like a point where you wanted to like leave Milwaukee, or have you always just been about Milwaukee, about the Milwaukee community?
That's a great question. Why Milwaukee is easy for me these days because early in my life I traveled a lot doing what I loved, and so I was able to see a lot of different places, a lot of different things, and I learned Milwaukee was a good place to launchpad from. I can get pretty much a lot of places, and reasonably I can get a lot of places from here. So it was always a great home base. I always thought it was easy to travel from here, so I'm like, I could set up shop here, and I could always travel everywhere, anywhere in the world. So that was kind of like my thought process behind not just wanting to straight relocate. You know, I go places and see other things, and I would think about the opportunity, or I would hear other people in other places tell me about the opportunity, and they say, "You doing that in Milwaukee? You could be killing it doing where we at." You get, and so I've always thought about it. To be honest, I still think about it. I don't know if I'll stay here. I don't know if I'll stay in America, to be honest. But I'm also knowing that this is a great launch pad. My family's here. I got mad roots here. I got hundreds of cousins here. Like, for that reason, like my grandmother's here. Like, my family is here. So I think it's a family-centric town in a way, and so I appreciate that. And I also just I still look at it like just a great launch pad. You can get to the East Coast, you get to the West Coast, you can get down south, you can get wherever you need to go here. And the cost of living is reasonable. And I put in a lot of work here, and so the other part about it is, you gotta nurture your seeds. You gotta cultivate your crops. So, I don't know if I'm ready to just think about uprooting them and transplanting them, or I don't, so I had to consider a lot. If I'm thinking about moving around, I gotta consider a lot.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think like for me too, like I've always like wanted to like leave and this and that, but I think once you travel, like you see other parts of the states, and then you come back, like Milwaukee's such a family like friendly, like my family's here, and like and the city has potential. Like,
and you know what I learned early too? You know who you meet no matter where you go in the world. Who you meet?
People.
You meet yourself.
Okay.
You're gonna meet yourself wherever you go. So if your ass having struggles here, you having challenges here, don't think just because you go somewhere else, everything gonna solve itself. Because guess who you gonna meet there? Yourself.
Okay,
the
exactly.
same self you was in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think
learned
a lot
that
of
early.
people like try to escape like the problems here, like this and that.
There you go.
Like, I mean, everywhere is like that.
There you
There's
go.
problems everywhere.
There you go.
But you've moved around in the city, and I know you have like the Peace Park going. Like you've founded that, right?
Yep.
And run that. Like that's like one of the things that my professor was talking about, like the gardening movement. Besides that, like, what's your favorite place in Milwaukee to be, or like
besides the places I've created? No.
Yeah.
That's a good question too, man. What's one of my favorite places to be in Milwaukee? Sheesh. That's a good question. I had to think about that one. I got a lot of favorite places in Milwaukee, because as you get older, you explore. You know what I mean? I got children, so like now I got new places I never explored before. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna have to get back with you on that one. I don't know. And guess what? I was just talking to two of the alumni tonight, and we were talking about how much you don't know about the city when you're younger, and you come from a certain neighborhood. You may not do much exploring, and next thing you know, you realize it's a whole another world right under your nose in your backyard.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so I'm finding new favorite spots all the time, to be honest. You know, when I was younger, it was this spot we used to go to on the south side. It was a well that's always running water. So we used to go there and get water from the south side because it's supposed to be mineral rich water because it's from a well. That's just one example, right? Like I had no idea it existed. It's probably still there right now running water. But there's a lot of jewels in Milwaukee. People have to be willing to, again, get uncomfortable and get outside of their comfort zone. Mm-hmm. You know, I love the river. I love the lake in Milwaukee. The lake probably is like, you know, top 3 at easy. I love the beach in the summertime. Mm-hmm. You kidding me? Anywhere in the world, but Milwaukee, we got a great beach. We got a great body of fresh water.
Yeah, we do. So, yeah, you pretty much covered like most of like my questions. Like, and I got to like know more about you too. I didn't know about like the wells and like that's pretty interesting.
Oh man, we could talk, bro. I got stories, man. I got a lot of stories. I put in a lot of work, and I, you know, work with a lot of people. You know, it's never about like a solo mission. And even for my family and for my crew, we organizers, you know, and so that's about moving people. That's about creating movements out of passion, you know, people's passionate ideas, people's passion about justice, or people's passion about like, you know, for me it just come back to humanity because it's about like doing people right, treating people right, you know, and so sometimes in this environment in Milwaukee, like you become tasked with being concerned with more than just yourself. City thing, yeah, it's a big frame of mind. But then you start thinking about your fellow person. You know what I mean? Like, not the buildings, not the neighborhoods, not this, but the people. You know, and so I think that's really important for people to step outside of their comfort zone and start exploring those experiences. That's big.
Mm-hmm. Very big. Yeah. This is awesome getting to get to know you past just being at True Skool and like
it's getting to know you past being at True Skool. You know what I'm saying? Like you
being in front of the camera is something that I'm never used to.
I'm like, what? Brema interview? Oh, word.
Getting a little bit comfortable, you know, becoming. This is about like facing your fears each and every day and
that's
like
real.
Growing.
That's
you know,
real.
Growth's very
that's
important.
Real. This is a city of immigrants too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like since the beginning, since the establishment. So that's the other part about it that people don't realize. There's so much richness and so much culture in the people in Milwaukee. And you can find that out by just having these kind of conversations.